And our next guest has been doing a bit with the good people at 3 and their Talk More Than Football initiative. It's the taxi as a confessional.
Interesting.
Samaritans and Chelsea FC are involved in the collaboration. Joining us now to tell us more is former Spurs Liverpool striker Peter Crouch. Hi, Peter.
Yeah, how are you guys? All right, good?
Yeah, we're good, thanks. Yeah, this is a mental health initiative, Peter. It's the third year they've done it, and you've been involved in putting this fleet of taxis out there where, I mean, because, as I said, people get in a cab sometimes and you're a captive audience and you're chatting to someone who's generally pretty chatty and you find yourself having conversations you probably didn't expect to have.
That's it, and I think, the taxi drivers now are trained in this department, and some of the stats are quite alarming. I think 64% of football fans struggle with mental health, but don't really reach out and want to talk to people. So, bizarrely, you end up talking to your cab driver about things you never thought you'd talk about. And I think, it's a good initiative to be a part of.
So 3rd of April, there'll be a taxi fleet, free rides to passengers who are willing to talk about their mental health or just sort of check in with somebody else.
It's good it's free, because otherwise if you ran the meter up, it'd be cheaper to go to a psychiatrist.
Yes, it will be. It is free, thankfully. It is free.
Good. Yeah.
So, what a nice idea, because that's around the Chelsea Spurs game, isn't it, at the Bridge?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Chelsea Spurs. I think it's the 3rd of April. So, if you, like you say, if there's anything you want to get off your chest, quite often I think in football we've got this stigma, haven't we? It's like, man up, get on with it, and I think times are changing and, men are able to talk about things a bit more now.
I think it is improving. I really do. I mean, people have, we've been banging on about it for a long time now. I think people should be aware, and probably are aware, that you can talk to somebody and you can talk about your feelings. I think it is improving.
Yeah, definitely. I think, certainly when I was a young player, I was one of those that carried things, even if I had a bad game or, certainly quite often before I was, with my wife or I was away from my family, I'd be on my own and just things would go through your head all the time. And it's quite a dangerous place to be on your own, when things are going badly. If you just want to get out and talk to people, and obviously this initiative is helping with that.
Probably even in your playing days, admitting you were struggling a bit, there was always that fear it was seen if you were going to the manager or whatever, or a teammate, seen as a sign of weakness. But I don't think that's the case now.
No, I think it's completely different. I think it's almost a sign of bravery. I think it's quite easy maybe to hide away, and it's a lot harder to kind of reach out and speak to someone and tell you how you feel. But obviously, it's far more beneficial to be able to talk about things than keep it very much within yourself. I mean, that's what I used to do, and it was very hard work.
Now, I came back last week from Cheltenham with the Cheltenham cold. It sounds like you have as well. Maybe the shock of having to buy 1,000 pints of Guinness as well.
Yeah, it doesn't help, to be honest. I had a bet with Paddy and ended up losing, and it wasn't pretty. But I had a lovely day down there. I know in Brazil, had a nice time as well, and I was very much in the same vein.
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's funny, I was looking at your CV and looking at the clubs you played for, and I thought I just happened upon FIK Hasselholm. You were there for 8 games, Peter.
I don't remember that.
Do you a little spell in Sweden? What was that like?
Do you know what? One of the best experiences of my life. Literally, I was still living at home, and I was at Tottenham in the youth team, and I couldn't get a game, and I was struggling, and I just went out there. I think we signed a player from Sweden. It was a Swedish second division, so we were a little bit we were part time. And me and one of the lads, Alton Thelwell, we played for Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
We went out there for a few games, and what an experience. It was brilliant.
Wow. Do you score some goals over there?
I got a few. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I ripped up the record books out there, but I had a good time. Definitely.
Yeah. I would have said, as a big man who liked to score with headers, you would have enjoyed Dan Burn's header. But as you played for Liverpool, you probably didn't.
I know. I took my little boy to the game. He's a big Liverpool fan, my little boy. So I was at the game. It was a brilliant header, and I was so pleased with Dan Burn as well. The week he's had, I think, because I had the pleasure of meeting him a few times, and he's such a great fella, and he's been a brilliant player for a long time now. So, I think obviously we went as supporting Liverpool, but I think if you're going to lose to anyone, it felt like that Newcastle team and the fans were just unbelievable. So it was a great day, even though obviously we were on the wrong end of the result.
Yeah. An odd performance by Liverpool, really, wasn't it? I mean, maybe a bit of a...
kind of been coming there, and also after Tuesday,
I think
hard.
I think there was a bit of hangover from Tuesday. They couldn't really pick themselves up. That was a real blow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. They weren't at the races at all. I think, like you say, I think you went, to extra time in the week. I mean, it's making no excuses, but Newcastle were just much more up for it. It just felt that they were at the races. Liverpool weren't, and it was a poor performance. But now they've just got to pick themselves up and finish the league situation off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, you can't really see any circumstances in which they're going to get caught.
It seemed unlikely.
No, I think it's wrapped up, but it's definitely a frustration. I mean, it was people talking about an unlikely treble. I mean, how hard that was, and this week's been a real kick, really. And I think they've just got to bounce back and show what a good side they've been, for the rest of the season.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it, in the off season, because they could lose Trent, they could lose Virgil van Dijk, they could lose Salah, and last summer they didn't recruit at all. They didn't really need to, and it's played in their favour. But this summer could be very different.
No, I think it's a big summer. I mean, it's a big summer for a lot of teams, to be honest. I mean, there's quite a few teams fallen short this year. Liverpool haven't been one of them. Looked like an amazing stroke of genius, really, to not sign anyone, just improve players, and the new manager's done unbelievable. But I do think it's a massive summer. I think they have to sign more players. They have to keep the ones that they've got. I think if you lose maybe one of the three players out of contract, then that would be okay. But they need to concentrate on getting those contracts signed, and I think bringing in some more options as well.
Tottenham haven't got you out for this Legends game at the weekend, then, Peter, have they?
Do you know what? I've actually signed up for the Liverpool Legends game beforehand. I will be getting the boots on, but just slightly more north.
And do you play much? Do you still turn out now and again?
I'll be honest with you, I've played the odd five-a-side. I'm playing a lot of golf, a lot of paddle tennis, not a lot of football. So I mean, I have tried to keep myself in check, since Cheltenham.
It's difficult.
Yeah, of course.
So I would like to say I'm reasonably fit, so I'm sure I'll be okay.
And just a quick one on Spurs and what they're up against at the moment. I was saying to Sandro, we spoke to earlier on around that Legends game at the weekend, that I worry that they pick themselves up after being pretty mediocre in the league to suddenly turn it on against Eintracht and Lazio and whoever else is down the road. All the eggs are in that Europa League basket now, and it is a concern that they can up their game.
It's a big concern. I mean, it's not been good for a long time. There's various different reasons behind it, probably, but I think the players who have been fit have been under par. It's been a really disappointing season. They are capable of winning the Europa League. I think the teams in there, I think you can definitely compete with them. There's no doubt. But will they win it? I'm not so sure.
No. Well, look, we'll let you get back on the Lem Sips before that Legends game, and good to talk to you. Cheers, Peter. Thanks a lot.
Really appreciate it.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.